Ladies and gentlemen, today I am brought in part by Echo Gaming. How are you doing today, Echo?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me back on the channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is I forget how many of these we've done now, but this is becoming a regular thing here on the channel. So we will have a link down to my boy's channel. Go ahead and subscribe to him. We'll have it in the pinned comment there. You can click on it. So there's the shout out. And today we have a fun topic because we were kind of talking about this just in the video actually for your channel, where we were talking about the game and kind of the latest updates, state of the game type of stuff. And at the end, we were just talking about the classes we were playing. And I started with the Necromancer. That was the class I started with. And we're going to kind of talk about our favorite class out of all of them. So I'm going to ask you first, what was the class you started with in the game?
Well, not including alphas and betas. I'll just exclude all of that because I have played all of the classes. But when the game dropped, I played the Barbarian. And I love the Barbarian. Yeah.
The Barbarian
was fun. Big, bad, fast, tanky. Was great.
How long did you, when class change come up, did you swap to anything right off the bat, or did you kind of stick to the Barb?
I think I waited a month, and then I swapped over to the Wizard. It was my least favorite class in alphas and betas, so I said, let me give this thing another chance. So I switched to the Wizard. Very powerful. I enjoyed it, but I didn't stay with the Wizard long, maybe just 2 months. I switch less frequently than you do. I know that you kind of just go class to class and keep coming back. I try and stay a little bit longer because I get possessive of all the things I've unlocked, I guess.
Do you find yourself maxing out your essences probably then on characters before you swap? I've only got the essence max on the Barbarian, actually, the class that you start with. This is the only one I've got max because I farmed a lot with the Barb. Because did you try the Firestorm build on him?
I have not yet. I just swapped back to, well, now we're jumping my story here, but I just swapped.
You're right. Sorry, I got distracted.
That's okay. So after the Wizard, I switched to the Necromancer, which I absolutely loved. It was so much fun. And then just 2 days ago, I switched back to the Barbarian, and I have not yet unlocked those. What is it? It's the secondary weapon. I actually just put a video out, or I'm going to soon. It's recorded, about how I'm trying, like my goal for my Barbarian and getting that secondary piece of gear so I could get like the tornado fire things. It looks really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It feels like it farms the smoothest out of almost any class I've played. I started with the Necromancer. Did you? How did you said you played the Necro, right? I heard that correctly. How did you feel about the Necromancer?
Absolutely loved it. I think it's you get tired of playing something after a while. So I got tired of the summons build, so I went back to Barb. But it is so close between Necromancer and Barbarian for me. They are definitely my two favorite classes in the game. And I feel like when I want something a little bit more ranged, I'll pop to Necro. When I want to be up in your face, I'll switch back to Barbarian. Kind of flip back and forth.
So if you had to pick one is your favorite in the game.
It's got to be the Barbarian because I could be a little bit more aggressive with it, a little bit faster. The Barbarian is probably my favorite, but it is very close. It's very hard because they're so different. It's like a completely different play style. So I picked the Barb. That was my favorite. How about you? I know you were a huge Necro guy, but is that still your favorite?
Well, here's the thing. So I started with Necromancer, and I like the Necromancer a lot, but kind of my problem with the class is in PvE, there's a lot of summoning. Like, I mean, you basically kind of do the summons pretty much all the time. Like, you can technically do like the corpse explosion and stuff, and there's some corpse lance usage, in different aspects. But for the most part in PvE, when you're doing damage, you kind of use the summon build, right? I mean, that's what most people do. And it just, after so many months of playing the Necromancer, it started to kind of get a little bit boring to me. Like I had just done it too much. So when I started swapping some of the classes, and I got stuck on strength, and then I played the monk when the monk was disgusting in PvP, and I was getting a bunch of free easy kills, and then played the Barbarian and realized even if you're trash, you can play a Barbarian in PvP and at least stay alive forever because of undying. And it made my job easy. Just stand on the Guardian and just stay alive as long as I can, and at least that way you can do something. So it felt good. So I almost want to just agree with you and this be a really boring video where we don't have any disagreement at all and just say the Barbarian's my favorite because I started with hating the Barbarian. Like I went Necromancer to, I think it was the Monk second, and then I went to Barbarian. And when I played Barbarian in the beginning, I literally didn't play the game for like 3 days straight. Like I can't play this character. I had no essences, and it felt terrible. But it was the second time I came back to Barbarian, and they had the Firestorm build and stuff, and I got lucky and got the drops fairly early. It just felt really good to overworld farm in the Barbarian, but. So I actually think I'm just going to agree with you. I expected to kind of pick a different one, but I mean, the Barbarian feels the best for me, to be honest, even in PvP.
Well, there's the video for you then, I guess, right? No, I think with any class though, like I was the Barbarian for months, for a good amount of months, 4, maybe 5 months. And I got bored of it too, you know, like you find the build that's really the best and you just run the same build all the time. You just find yourself whirlwinding around the world all the time. And, you know, after a while it gets boring, but the same thing like you mentioned with the Necromancer, you're just summoning everything and then throwing it in the Dark Curse or putting the spikes on them. And, you know, it's essentially the same thing. What I do like about the Barbarian better for open world farming than the Necro is you can kind of kite all of the enemies together and then damage them all in one spot with the Barbarian. With a Necromancer, I'd find things dying all over because my command skeletons are over here, my golem's there, and I'm running all over to like, maybe there's some monstrous essence over there that was dropped. But the Barb, I can control where things drop better, I guess.
You know, and when I was playing the Necromancer, they didn't have all the fixes to the gyms and stuff. So I was always wondering, like, is this gym even doing anything? You know what I mean? I'm doing the summons build, but like I have this gym that feels like it's useless because it's not increasing my summons damage or whatever. So I think the Necromancer is probably better now, and I'm probably not doing it justice. But here's the thing. So I'm playing the Wizard right now, right? I'm going to swap from the Wizard because intelligence to intelligence, and I'm going to go the Necromancer again to try to do justice to the class. And you know, I got like 15 or something essence points to go to finish the mastery on it, but there's a whole bunch of new essences now, so I'm going to try the Necromancer one more time. What class are you going to after the Barbarian?
The Blood Knight, man. No?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, wait, okay, when is that, by the way?
I have no idea. It's coming. I mean, at some point in time. I'd say it's going to be like a year anniversary gift to us. New class, year one. Ooh. One class a year. That's probably the guess. I think that's fine too. I think a yearly class is still a lot. That's been a topic that we've talked about in the past quite a bit. But my next class I'd switch to, I kind of miss the Crusader a little bit, and it's one that I haven't played since one of the betas. So, but again, I went back to the Barbarian after having played the Barbarian since the game's come out already. So, you know, I missed speed. And you get some good speed with the Crusader as well when you hop on your horse. So it could be another good option. I get tired of just being slow, which was my biggest complaint about the Wizard, how when you're using your, Ray of Frost and all those attacks, you can't move. And being stationary, I switched from the Wizard. I actually didn't switch the Necro. I switched the Demon Hunter, which has so much more mobility, which I liked better than the Wizard. And then I switched to the Necromancer. So I've played 4 classes since the game is launched.
The Crusader is easily the class that I have the worst takes on. Like, I have not spent very much time playing Crusader, so every time I get on that class or I get forced to talking about the class, I'm like, I'm the blind leading the blind here. I do not know what I'm talking about. I will say I love the Conjuration of Light and having one in the party for Holy Banner. That is... love it. Thumb up. Thank you very much, Crusader players, for playing that class, because I personally cannot endure playing it.
Yeah, I just like the speed. I like that you could literally hop on the horse and be out, or you could drag things around, or you can get, just similar to the Barbarian, you can get the flames behind your horse, you know, similar type thing. I think the Barb is better. And they do, you know, the gameplay is similar. How you kind of just get up in your face and spam attacks on people. But
you play the monk yet?
I played that again, like I said, in the alphas or betas. And it was one of my favorite classes, too, because of just how you're like an acrobat bouncing off the walls. But no, I haven't played it yet. And I don't really desire playing it either for some reason. I don't know why. It's such a fun class.
If you play on mobile a lot, I feel like it's way worse on mobile than it is on PC.
And I do. I try to exclusively play on mobile, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's just way better on PC because of the teleporting. It's so hard to do. Or at least for me, I can't play Monk on mobile very well at all, like aiming the skill shots with it. But it feels pretty smooth on the PC. And that's just, I think the only class we haven't talked about yet is Demon Hunter. You got any, I might as well cover it as the last one. You got any thoughts, feelings about Demon Hunter?
Yeah, I like it more than the Wizard because it has the speed, it has the mobility. Yeah. I liked it. I don't feel that the Demon Hunter drops as much damage as the Wizard does. I really like, what was it called? Like the crystal that you shoot your Ray of Frost and the other one through. I don't even remember the names of them at this point. But I feel like you drop a lot of damage on a lot of enemies at once with the Wizard, but you're stationary. With the Demon Hunter, your movement speed is great. You could really bounce around pretty nicely. I enjoyed it more. It took a little bit less precision than the Wizard because of having to do all the aiming and stuff. It was okay. I probably won't go back to the Demon Hunter. If I was going to do something that was considered ranged, I would go back to the Necro, although the Necro really isn't ranged, but it does have a range attack. I'd choose the Necromancer before the Demon Hunter and before the Wizard, going back to one of those.
Yeah, same. That's the class I'm going to play next. So. All right. Well, there you go. There's our breakdown. I think we kind of, it sounds like Barbarian and Necromancer were pretty much our more or less the favorite ones there right next to each other. But yeah, no, Barbarian feels really smooth. Feels really smooth right now for sure, especially once you get that full build. I did have to have Blessed Pebble and Trick Shot, which I ended up crunching into the Pain class to try it out. Probably not worth. I missed my Blessed Pebble, but had to have those ones to really get the build to like feel very smooth. But that's probably my favorite build in the game right now is Barbarian Firestorm build. So
tip taken.
All right. Well, everybody, that's going to do it. There's a pinned comment with Echo's stuff there. Go subscribe to The Void. You got anything you want to shout out, say at the end?
I just want to thank you for coming to having me through the channel and for coming through mine as well. It's always fun to just get together and chat about the game. So thank you.
Yeah, we'll have a link down below. Maybe yours will be up. Maybe mine will be up. We don't know which one's coming up first, but we'll put the link to the video once it's up and you can watch our other collab there over on Echo's channel. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.